When a narcissist hurts you, instead of sorry, here's a savage thing they do to get you back. Narcissistic individuals are notorious for their manipulative abilities, which leave their victims in a state of emotional turmoil. It's befuddling why their actions persist without any consequences. Do they possess a heart devoid of guilt? Are they aware of the gravity of their evil deeds? Contrary to popular belief, narcissists are cognizant of the turmoil they create in others. Yet, they lack emotional response and empathy, rendering them incapable of comprehending your pain. Their inability to develop meaningful relationships stems from their inability to empathize. Harming you seems like a viable option for their success, rather than a personal attack. As a result of this, narcissists struggle to understand the concept of morality, often failing to gauge the negative effects of their actions. Remember that they are not trying to harm you as an individual. They are trying to overpower your hindrance. How do you deal with alleged culprits when incriminating evidence exists, but the offender remains undetected? Being devoid of remorse, narcissists blatantly disregard the severity of the matter. Their response can range from surrendering to their initial actions, belittling its impact, to altogether disassociating themselves from it. How they react to past disappointments or errors reveals a lot about their character. Narcissists' unwavering lack of guilt for their deeds fails to evoke a shred of remorse or perspective for their victims. Instead, they use each accusation to their advantage through their exploitative tendencies. Narcissistic individuals rely on justifications to absolve themselves of responsibility for their actions, often convincing themselves that their behavior is warranted. In their minds, their deeds are deserved retribution for the victim's imperfections, thereby succumbing themselves to their toxic egotistical tendencies. The volatile nature of narcissists often leads others to misinterpret their actions as being dangerous, even when no harm is intended. They use this to their advantage to validate their own malice towards people or justify their extreme measures for protection. In their attempts to invalidate others, narcissists often resort to callous insensitivity. They utter offensive words and offer helpless responses, making it tough to discern whether they're serious or jesting. Their aim is to undermine individuals and their actions, serving as evidence of the depth of their hatred for people. Once a narcissist's malicious lies are accepted as the truth, they knowingly place the blame on the other person, making the victim feel like they are the genuine perpetrator. This type of deception is a byproduct of their inhuman behavior, ultimately leading to tragic ends for their targets. To absolve themselves of wrongdoing, narcissists tend to suppress memories of their past transgressions by shifting their misdeeds' blame elsewhere. For instance, narcissists blame others to draw attention away from themselves, effectively painting an inaccurate narrative of the situation. By doing so, they are able to convince themselves that they are the victim and absolve themselves of their crimes. As a result of their constant deceit and distortions, it's challenging to recall earlier events accurately. Narcissists frequently cause misunderstanding and misinterpretation due to their careless indifference. These behaviors are used by them to minimize the consequences of their errors and defend their improper behavior. By doing this, they distance themselves from the consequences while placing blame on others rather than taking responsibility for their wrongdoings. Narcissists don't feel any guilt or accountability for their deeds. Instead, in an effort to placate their victims and avoid further scrutiny, they quickly offer hollow apologies. However, narcissists will quickly shut off anyone who has the gall to bring up old grudges, because they cannot stand being seen to have weaknesses. Their pretended apologies are only a mask they use to escape their sticky situation without taking responsibility for their errors. Once they are let off the hook, they resume their previous behavior. Holding narcissists responsible for their deeds and constantly monitoring for narcissistic tendencies are essential. Refuse to accept their meaningless justifications or trite remarks. Focus on the facts and insist that they accept responsibility for their actions. Allowing them to distort the story and downplay the suffering they've caused will only keep their destructive conduct going. Narcissists go to great lengths to avoid individuals who try to defy their expectations. It's high time that we make it clear we won't tolerate their slippery maneuverings. It's pointless to expect narcissists to atone for their sins, as they're not sincere. Their self-infatuation has caused them to believe that they are above scrutiny and can act with impunity. Nevertheless, we must delve into this topic. Please share your experiences with individuals who justify or defend their reprehensible behavior in the comments below. I'm grateful for your compassion and thoughtfulness. Be sure to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell to receive future video uploads. Your presence is much appreciated. Thank you.
The conclusion in this video: narcissists are individuals who manipulate others and cause them emotional distress. They are aware of the suffering they inflict, although they do not intend to harm others personally. Their lack of empathy prevents them from forming meaningful relationships and understanding the immorality of their action. When faced with evidence of their wrongdoing, narcissists do not feel guilt or show remorse. Instead, they justify their behavior, downplay the seriousness of the situation, or try to remove themselves from it. Narcissists never genuinely regret or apologize for their mistakes or tragedies. Their manipulative, cognitive process to exploit negative charge, justify their hurt of others, or deflect blame onto someone else. They often make offensive remarks disguised as jokes, creating confusion and portraying themselves as victims. Narcissists attempt to erase their faults and attribute their problems to others, either by distorting or concealing past events. They refuse to acknowledge responsibility for their action and may offer false apologies to avoid accountability. It is important not to allow narcissists to justify or minimize the hurt they have caused. Holding them accountable and recognizing their despicable behavior is crucial. Narcissists will continue to believe they can get away with anything if they are not confronted. It is unrealistic to expect serious apologies from them, as they are self-absorbed and lack remorse. In the common books, the author invites readers to share their experience with individuals who defend or justify their awful behavior. The author appreciates the reader's care and sensitivity and encourages them to subscribe to the channel and active notification for future videos.